Hey there folks, it's your boy B3 back with another fantastic action figure review. Today we're looking at one I've been sitting on for a bit. Pretty popular figure, a little harder to get now, but it is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man 3 Black Suit Spider-Man. Or as I like to call him, Bully Maguire. That's right, I still like those memes, baby. Yeah, there was a GameStop going out of business, and they had, of course I went to see what figures and cards and stuff they had. And they had a ton of, like, really sought-after Spider-Men there. I don't know why they were all still on the shelf. They had multiples of this guy who's been super hard to find. I couldn't pass it up. Plus, I had like a $5 credit and stuff. I hate GameStop, but sometimes you gotta go. But yeah, pretty cool. He has this Venom accessory that everybody's been really happy about. Spider-Man 3, the figure, I don't have the single-carded Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that came before this, or the one from the No Way Home 3-pack. No Way Home? Yeah. So I can't compare it to those. I assume it's largely the same sculpt, repainted with some new accessories. But it's pretty cool. Spider-Man art. That Venom piece is really cool. Like, look at that. His mind infected by the thoughts of an alien symbiote and his strength enhanced by the creature that clings to him. Spider-Man feels an uncharacteristic rage taking him over. Me too, fam. Me too. Anyway, let's get this classic little boyo out of package. And here he is out of package, Bully Maguire from the hit film Seabiscuit. Yeah, I always wanted a black costume Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure as a kid. Never got one. So I'm very happy to have this now. I think it's a pretty good looking figure, and if it's anything like the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man remake that they put out a while back, I'll be very happy with it. You can see the head goes up and down, and of course I've put the masked head on because that's absolutely what I'll be displaying him with. Really need a lot of good movement, nice wobble, I like a wobble. He has the butterfly joint, which I always appreciate, and it's all painted up on the inside, which is really nice. Hopefully that won't scuff. Up and down, around the world, bicep as in swivel, double as in elbow bend. You have a nice rotation upon the wrist, and good forward and back. And sometimes on Marvel Legends, the hands will do a side-to-side instead of the forward and back. All of these do a forward and back hinge like that, and none like that. Just so you know. He has that kind of Power Ranger Lightning Collection torso stuff that I'm glad has been moving to Marvel Legends. Pretty good. It's really ovular, so it's a little tough to go a certain distance, but it does work. Great up and down, though. Great side to side like that. And the crunch is there. I wish the webbing came down a little further, but I understand why it doesn't. But the detail does, like all the little tiny details do. Also, people complain about all the tiny little dots and details on MCU suits. Nobody ever complained about that with Tobey. So, actually, I think the raised webbing is almost an improvement over the comic in a way. I think that's a really nice touch. But he's got that big spider. And then, of course, you have leg articulation. A nice in and out. I wish it kicked out a little further, to be completely honest. Like, I recently recorded my review for the Sentry from Thunderbolts, and dang, he kicked out real far. I wish this guy kicked out a little farther like he did. It's got a little bit like that, but it kicks forward fine. But this is Spider-Man. He's a really flexible character. I feel like these legs should be kicking around more, and it can't really go back at all because he has this hard plastic bussy. Unlike McFarlane and NECA, Hasbro has not yet figured out that if you use a rubber bussy covering, you can get more articulation out of the legs, but they still have these hard plastic bussies. Not great. Not great. So, articulation above the waist I'm pretty into, but so far below the waist, not super great. The thigh swivel is, of course, good. It's hard to really mess up a thigh swivel, to be completely honest. Ooh, that's tight. Oh, God. It's like a freshman joining a sorority. Look at that. Double knee bend. No boot swivel, which is a little disappointing. It's because I've noticed that when Hasbro doesn't have a straight across line for the boot swivel, like in this 2-pack, they gave John Walker a boot swivel because it goes straight across. But you see, Spider-Man and Sentry here, their boot is cut down. Like, it's not a straight line, so they didn't give him a boot swivel. A little lazy, I think, honestly. Whatever, though. Up and down on the feeties. Pretty good ankle pivot. Peg holes, in case you would need a stand. So yeah, some of this leg articulation could definitely be better. Detail and paint, I think, is on point. I like some of the glossier parts of the black. For the most part, the webbing is very cleanly painted. I love the raised feel of it. Once again, people make fun of the heavy textures on the comic book movie suits, but then you get them in figure form, and I like the feel of them every time. So I think they always translate well to figures, at least for someone who enjoys that. But yeah, he looks really nice, even if some of the posability in his legs could be better. Accessory-wise, of course, you see he has the masked head and 2 fist hands, but there is more than that. He actually has these 2 really cool wall-crawling hands that they aren't just mirrored images of each other. They're uniquely sculpted wall-crawling hands. They look really good. They look really good. And then, of course, we get flipping hands. You know, web shooter hands. I rarely display my Spider-Man with these, to be honest. I usually like to display them with wall-crawling hands, or a wall-crawling hand and a fist. But I have a few that I've displayed with them because, I mean, it's classic, you know? You got the Bully Maguire head, which I actually think is pretty excellent. They got the baggage under his eyes. They got the emo haircut. You look at him and you can almost hear him say, "Now dig on this." You know, it's wild. And you have this amazing Venom accessory with like Venom taking him over, or you could use it as him pulling Venom off. This could also work on several other Marvel Legends, or even just several other figures in the 1/12 scale. It goes on really easy. It also does work with the masked head in a way too. Like almost like Venom's, like he's talking to Venom and Venom comes up and is like, "You listen to me now." It's very cool. It's got the eyes painted this glossy color. All the teeth are painted, even all the little teeth that come attached down here. Above and beyond on this Venom accessory, honestly. So far, this figure probably gets a B+. This is simply because I wish the legs articulated a little better. They really could just do a little better on the legs for this guy. But yeah, now let's get into some size comparisons. First up, how about a couple recent Marvel movie figures? These are from a 2-pack, actually. It's the Thunderbolts, aka New Avengers, John F. Walker, U.S. Agent on the left, and Bob Reynolds, the Sentry, on the right. I think they scale just fine with Spider-Man here. Spider-Man is, of course, a slimmer character, so that really works. And he might be a little short, but these guys both also have bulkier boots than Spider-Man. So, you know, without the boots, they might be roughly the same height. Also, Spider-Man's clothes are skin-tight, and these guys' clothes are bulkier, etc., etc. All the little nuances of how humans are all different sizes. I don't have to explain that humans are different sizes to you guys, right? I think you know that. But how about a couple comic book figures, eh? How about some with some recognizable sculpts, like this Captain Britain? He's from the Energized Emissaries Abomination Build-A-Figure wave. And then, with the Bucky Cap mold, the all-new, all-different Vision. Okay, Spider-Man looks great with these guys. These are 2 molds that Hasbro has used a lot. Occasionally, they even still whip them out. Dr. Spectrum got a Bucky Cap mold recently. So, yeah, I think he kind of works with comic characters as well. He'll go great in a Spider-Verse display, etc., etc. I like it. Also, this Captain Britain is for sale in my stores. If anyone wants it, check out the links down below. Boink! And then I want to compare him with 2 more figures. These are larger figures. First up, a deluxe figure, which will also kind of serve as our Build-A-Figure comparison. Even though it's not a Build-A-Figure, it is the Captain America Brave New World Red Hulk. So it's another movie figure for him. I gotta zoom out pretty far. Dang. showing all my secret stuff on the sides. Yeah, I think that works out. And then I want to show him with a Diamond Select, which is more 7-inch scale than 6-inch. But here's the Diamond Select, Marvel Select Ultron. And I'm down with Ultron being much bigger. I mean, this is a character that can alter his size by just building a new body or using nanites. And plus, he's a big threat, you know. This is a global, if not galactic threat that takes the entirety of the Avengers to stop. So yeah, you know, I think he actually looks fine with some choice bigger figures as well, as long as they're characters that are supposed to be bigger. So in all, what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man 3 Black Suit Spider-Man, aka Bully Maguire? It's a good figure. It is. Detail and paint are great. He's got a good amount of accessories, a really unique, cool Venom accessory that could go great with other figures. My only issue with this guy is the leg articulation. When it comes to Spider-Man, which is the thing that Marvel Legends likes to make figures of the most, let's not sit here and pretend it's not, you just need a little more. That boot swivel is needed. That little extra movement in the legs is needed. Spider-Man goes crazy when it comes to posing, you know? Like, say that Vision figure I just showed you. If it was missing those points, I wouldn't feel as cheated as I do with Spider-Man missing those points. It's more important to make sure that Spider-Man has that kind of articulation. It just really, really is. This is a cool figure that I think will be remembered as a very good figure. That's kind of why it's gone up in price a lot. People are buying this just for the Venom accessory. That's how good that accessory is. It's awesome. And I gotta tell you, I'm happy to have it as a whole in my collection. This is one that's gonna stay on the shelf here for a very long time. So that's it, folks. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below in our store if you want to buy some figures of your own, both either on eBay or in our physical store. We have way more in our physical store, but I am trying to get more onto the eBay page as well because I'm transitioning it from being mostly trading cards to trying to be more mostly action figures and really more meatier, bulkier collectibles. So that's it. Thank you all once again. See you all next time. Bye for now.